This mystic snapshot describes the time that Jesus met Judas Iscariot and Thomas for the first time. According to mystic Maria Valtorta, she says, Jesus is together with 6 disciples in Jerusalem. It must still be Passover time because there are many, many people in town. It is evening and many people are hurrying home. Jesus also goes toward the house where he is a guest. Now, this house is not very far from the place where the Last Supper was conducted. That was in town. This place is a real country home amongst thick olive trees. From the rustic open space in front of the house, you can see the olive trees down the terrace of the hill. Now, a valley is formed by 2 hills. On the top of one, there is the temple, and on the other hill, there are only olive trees. Jesus is at this place. "John, there are 2 men awaiting your friend," says an elderly man who must be the farmer or the owner of the olive grove. I would say that John knows him. John says, "Where are they? Who are they?" "I don't know. One is certainly from Judea. The other, well, I don't know. I didn't ask him." "Where are they?" "In the kitchen, waiting. And yes, there is another man who is all covered with sores. I made him stay over there because I'm afraid he may be a leper. He says he wants to see the prophet who spoke in the temple." Jesus, who up to this moment had been silent, says, "Let us go to see him first. Tell the others to come if they so wish. I will speak to them there in the olive grove." And he makes for the place indicated by the man. Peter asks, "And what about us? What shall we do, Master?" "Come, if you want." A man, muffled up, is leaning against the rustic wall supporting a terrace, the nearest to the boundary of the property. He must have climbed up there along a path. When he sees Jesus approaching him, he shouts, "Go back! Go back! Have mercy on me!" And he uncovers his trunk, dropping his tunic to the ground. If his face is covered with scabs, his trunk is one big sore. Some of the sores have already become deep wounds. Some are like burns. Some are whitish and glossy, as if there was a thin white pane of glass on them. Jesus asks, "Are you a leper? What do you want of me?" "Don't curse me! Don't curse me! I have been told that the other evening you revealed yourself as the voice of God and the bearer of grace. I was also told that you gave assurance that by raising your sign you will cure all diseases. Please, please raise it on me. I have come from the sepulchres over there. I crept like a snake amongst the bushes to arrive here without being seen. I waited until evening before leaving because at dusk it is more difficult to see who I am. I found this man, the man of the house. He's a good man. He did not kill me. He only said, 'Wait over there near the little wall.' Have mercy on me." And as Jesus is going near him, all by himself, because the 6 disciples are keeping their distance as well as the landlord, he goes toward them, and the leper says, Don't come nearer, don't, I am infected." But Jesus proceeds. He looks at him so mercifully that the man starts crying and kneels down, almost touching the ground with his face, moaning, "Your sign, your sign." Jesus says, "It will be raised when it is time. But now I say to you, stand up, be healed. I want it. And be the sign in this town that must recognize me. Rise, I say, and do not sin out of gratitude to God." The man rises slowly. He seems to emerge from the long flowery grass as from a shroud, and he's healed. He looks at himself in the last dim light of the day. He is healed. He shouts, "I am clean. Oh, what shall I do for you now?" Jesus says, "You must comply with the law. Go to the priest. Be good in the future. Go." The man is on the point of throwing himself at Jesus' feet, but he remembers he is still impure according to the law, and he restrains himself. But he kisses his own hand and throws a kiss to Jesus and weeps. He weeps out of joy. The others are dumbfounded. Jesus turns away from the healed man and rouses them, smiling. My friends, it was only a leprosy of the flesh, but you will see leprosy fall from hearts. Is it you that wanted me? He asks the two strangers. Here I am. Who are you? We heard you the other evening in the temple. We looked for you in town. A man who said he is a relative of yours told us you stay here. Jesus asks, Why are you looking for me? To follow you, if you will allow us, because you have words of truth. Follow me? But do you know where I am going? No, Master, but certainly to glory. Yes, but not to a glory of this world. I am going to a glory which is in heaven and is conquered by virtue and sacrifice. Why do you want to follow me? He asked them again. To take part in your glory. According to heaven? Yes, according to heaven. Jesus says, Not everybody is able to arrive there, because Mammon lays more snares for those yearning for heaven than for the others, and only he who has strong willpower can resist. Why follow me if to follow me implies a continuous struggle against the enemy, which is in us, against this hostile world, and against the enemy, who is Satan? The man says, Because that is the desire of our souls, which have been conquered by you. You are holy and powerful. We want to be your friends. Friends? Jesus is silent and sighs. Jesus then turns to the second man and asks, Who are you? By your garments I can tell you are not a man of the people. I am Judas, the son of Simon. I come from Kerioth, but I am of the temple. I am waiting for and dreaming of the King of the Jews. I heard you speak like a king. I saw your kingly gestures. Take me with you. Take you? Now? At once? No. Why not, Master? Because it is better to examine ourselves carefully before venturing on very steep roads. Do you not believe that I am sincere? Jesus says, You have said it. I believe in your impulsiveness, but I do not believe in your perseverance. Think about it, Judas. I am going away now, and I will be back for Pentecost. If you are in the temple, you will see me. Examine yourself. And who are you? I am another one who saw you. I would like to be with you, but now I am frightened. No, presumption ruins people. Fear may be an impediment, but it is a help when it originates from humility. Do not be afraid. Think about it too, and when I come back... At this time, the first man comes in and says, Master, you are so holy. I'm afraid of not being worthy, nothing else, because I do not doubt my love. What is your name? Thomas of Didymus. I will remember your name, Thomas. Go in peace. Jesus dismisses them, and he goes into the house for supper. The 6 disciples who are with him want to know many things. Why, Master? Why did you treat them differently? Because there was a difference. Both of these had the same impulsiveness, asked John. My friend, also the same impulsiveness may have a different taste and bring about it a different effect. They both certainly had the same impulsiveness, but they were not the same in their purposes, and the one who appears less perfect is, in fact, more perfect, because he has no incentive to human glory. He loves me because he loves me. And all of the disciples as one say, and I. Jesus says, I know you for what you are. Are we therefore perfect, Master? Oh, no. But like Thomas, you will become perfect if you persevere in your desire to love. Perfect? Oh, my friends, and who is perfect but God? You are, they say. Jesus says, I solemnly tell you that I am not perfect by myself, if you think I am a prophet. No man is perfect, but I am perfect because he who is speaking to you is the Word of the Father, part of God, his thought that became the Word. I have perfection in myself, and you must believe me to such an extent if you believe that I am the Word of the Father. And yet, see, my friends, I want to be called the Son of Man because I lower myself, taking upon myself all the miseries of man, to bear them as my first scaffold and cancel them, and bearing them without suffering from them myself. What a burden, my friends! But I bear it with joy. It is a joy for me to bear it because, since I am the Son of mankind, I will make mankind once again the child of God, as it was on the first day. Jesus is speaking very, very gently, sitting at the poor table, and he's calmly talking with his hands and gesturing. His head is slightly inclined to one side. His face is lit up from below by a small oil lamp on the table. He smiles gently. He who formerly was so majestic a master in his bearing is now so friendly in his gestures. His disciples are listening very, very intently. Master, why did your cousin not come, although he knows where you live? My Peter, you will be one of my stones, the first one. But not all the stones can be easily used. Have you seen the marble blocks in the Praetorium building? With hard labor, they have been torn away from the bosom of the mountainside and are now part of the Praetorium. Look instead at those stones down there shining in the moonlight in the water of the Kidron. They arrived in the riverbed by themselves, and if anyone wants to take them, well, they do not put up any resistance. My cousin is like the first stones I'm speaking of, the bosom of the mountainside. His family, they contend for him with me. But I want to be exactly like the stones in the torrent. I'm quite prepared to leave everything for you, home, wife, fishing brothers, everything, Rabboni, for you, says Peter. Jesus says, I know, Peter. That is why I love you. Also, Judas will come. Peter says, Who? Judas of Kerioth? I don't care for him, Master. He's a dandy young man. But I prefer myself. And all the other disciples kind of laugh, and they think it's a witty remark. Peter says, there is nothing to laugh at. I mean that I prefer a sincere Galilean, a rough fisherman, but without any friend to townsfolk who, well, I don't know. Here, the Master knows what I mean. Jesus says, yes, I know, Peter, but do not judge. We need one another in this world. The good are mixed with the wicked, just like flowers in a field. Hemlocks grow beside the salutary mallow. Another disciple asks, I would like to ask one thing. What, Andrew? Well, John told me about the miracle you worked at Cana. We were hoping so much that you would work one at Capernaum, and you said that you would not work any miracles before fulfilling the law. Why Cana then, and why here and not in your own fatherland? Jesus says, to obey the law is to be united to God, and that increases our capabilities. A miracle is the proof of the union with God, as well as of God's benevolent and assenting presence. That is why I wanted to perform my duty as an Israelite before starting the series of miracles. But you were not bound to fulfill the law. Why? As the Son of God I was not, but as a son of the law, yes, I was. For the time being, anyway. Israel knows me only as such, and even later almost everyone in Israel will know me as such, nay, even less. But I do not want to scandalize Israel, and therefore I obey the law. Another says, you are holy. Holiness does not bar obedience. Nay, it makes obedience perfect. Besides everything else, there is a good example to be given. What would you say of a father or an elder brother or teacher or priest who did not give good examples? Another disciple says, and what about Cana? Cana was to make my mother happy. Cana is the advance due to my mother. She anticipates grace. Here I honor the holy city, making her in public the starting point of my power as Messiah. But there at Cana, I paid honor to the Holy Mother of God, full of grace. The world received me through her. It is only fair that my first miracle in the world should be for her. There is a knocking at the door. It is Thomas once again. He goes in and throws himself at Jesus' feet. Master, Master, I cannot wait until you come back. Please, please let me come with you. I'm full of faults, I know that, but I have my love, my only really great treasure. It is yours, Master. It is for you. Please let me come. Jesus lays his hand on Thomas's head and says, You may stay, Didymus. Follow me. Blessed are those who are sincere and persistent in their will. You are all blessed. You are more than relatives to me because you are my children and my brothers, not according to the blood that dies, but according to the will of God and to your spiritual wishes. Now I tell you that I have no closer relatives than those who do the will of my Father, and you do it because you want what is good. Jesus smiles at this point, and all are silent. This is Joe Roberts.